Hello everyone, I'm Tyler Caldwell with smokingpipes.com, and today I want to go over with you the different ways to cut your cigar. I know for some of us out there it might be a little rudimentary, but there's still a lot of folks out there who are just getting into this hobby who just don't quite understand everything just yet. So let's go into a little deep dive about it. So let's start with the infamous straight cut. That's typically what you find with most people using as they're going through their cigar experience. So normally this here is the Zycar XI cutter, a personal favorite of mine. Nice little teardrop shape. Opens up like that, double blade cutter to go with it. And normally all you want to do is aim for your cap on your cigar at the very top of it. You don't necessarily want to cut below the cap level because as you smoke your cigar, it's going to get moist and wet from your mouth and your lips, and then it can tend to unravel and just ruin your smoking experience. But you also don't want to clip too little on the cap because then it becomes very snug, a little tight, very uneasy to smoke. So you always want to get that line right above the cap and just clip away. Now, I would also suggest as you're cutting your cigar with something like this, your typical straight cut, you don't want to just be easy with it. You just want to guillotine that thing, put some force into it, and get a nice clear cut to go with that. Now also, there is, for the newbies out there, I'll teach you a cheat sheet kind of cut right here. And what you can do is take your cutter, you put it on a flat surface or table, something like that. You take your cigar over and you put it on the table and you clip it. And what that will help you do is get an almost perfect cut every time, at least until you get to a point where you know you can cut it a little bit more in an advanced way. So up next we have the Zycar pull-out punch. What I like about these, and you find this with a lot of punches, it comes with a nice little key ring attachment, so you can put it right there in your keys, and that way hopefully you don't lose it, because then you lose your keys and then you're really messed up. But what I like about this guy is you literally just pull it out, you get a nice size punch to go with it, and get you a nice little clear cut to go with that. Now, I would recommend when it comes to using a punch, from my personal perspective, it works a lot better with a cigar that's a bigger ring gauge or something with a more flat surface, kind of like these Neanderthals by Romacraft. So that's going to give you a much more clear cut to go with that. And I would also say what I like about a punch compared to a straight cut, with a straight cut you're going to get much more flow, much more openness with the smoke. With the punch, you get a little bit more of a intensity of the smoke going through a much smaller hole, and it, for me, can intensify the flavor of the cigar I'm smoking. And lastly, we have the Zycar V cutter here. Nice little design that's going on. You squeeze the sides, opens up, and you just cut your cigar like that. So what I like about a V cut, also to some people known as a cat's eye cut, but what I really like about these is it's kind of like a cutter with training wheels. It's really hard to mess up your cut. You can get almost a perfect cut every single time as long as your blade is nice and sharp. And also what I like about a V cut is, opposed to the straight cut style and the punch style, it cuts an actual V notch into the cap of your cigar, which kind of opens up the smoke to go around your palate to give you sometimes a little slightly different aspect to the flavor of the cigar that you're smoking. So there you have it. These are your three basic versions of cutters that are available on smokingpipes.com. Highly suggest the Zycar line. They make a really great product. So make sure, if you do happen to have all three, try each cut with the same style of cigar and see if you can notice the difference. Thank you.